Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I got this summery cut crease makeup look using these orange warm tones with some purples and pinks in it. So if you would like to see how I got this summer cut crease look, then just keep on watching. So first I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal True Match Foundation in the shade W5. And I'm going to go ahead and blend that into my skin with my favorite sponge. And this is my Real Techniques sponge. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend that in. Now I'm going to go ahead and go in with my BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette. And I'm going to go ahead and go in with this yellow shade as my transition color. So I will be blending this out into the crease and above the crease area. So it can be my transition shade. Now I'm going to go in with this beautiful pink, almost neon pink color into the inner part of my lid. And I'm going to go ahead and apply that just in the beginning, just in the inner part of my lid, because we are going to be applying a separate color onto the outer part. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with this burnt orange and apply that into the outer part of my lid, and we are going to start building that up and also start creating a V shape on the outer part of on the outer corner, because I am going to do almost like a cat eye effect. So I am going to start just building this up into a V shape, just so it could be a little bit easier when we do clean up the eye look. And don't worry if it's a little messy right now and it's a little starting to look a little messy, because later on, like I said, we will be cleaning all of it up. So now I'm going to go back in with that yellow shade that we used in the beginning for our transition color. And I'm going to go ahead and start blending all those colors together. So I'm going to start applying a little bit of that yellow and start blending both the pink and the orange into the yellow, just so it can start looking a little bit more blended. And then I go back with this smaller brush to just make the pink and the burnt orange a little bit more vibrant. And now I'm going back in to blend those into the yellow. But this time I am using a smaller, you want to use a smaller blending brush. That way you don't go too high up into the yellow. So that way it could look like a transition from the pink and the orange into the yellow. So you want to just stick to blending closer to the crease and closer to the pink and the orange, and just start blending those into the yellow, but don't go too far into the yellow. So that's why I'm using such a small blending brush. And we are just going to keep on blending those colors just so it can look perfectly blended and they could just melt together, and it looks like it's transitioning into the yellow. So now I'm going to go ahead and be cutting the crease, and I am using my e.l.f. Cosmetics concealer in the shade Fair Warm. And I'm going to go ahead and cut the crease, and it's just going to be a half cut crease. So we don't want to cut the crease entirely all the way like all the way to the end of our lid. We just want to cut halfways, or a little bit more than halfways. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the crease. And before, I used to have such a hard time cutting my crease, and I finally figured out the reason why was because I was using the wrong brush. So I do recommend, if you are having a hard time, to use a different brush and explore with different brushes, because for me, I am using this very small brush. But that's because I do have smaller eyes or smaller lid space. So I can't use really big brushes because it was just giving me such a hard time. So, yes, I do recommend, if you are having a hard time, to just play around with the different size brushes until you find which one is right for you. So when you get to the top of the cut crease, you do want to go a bit slower and be careful. And then at the bottom, it just doesn't matter. So now I'm going to go in with this purpley lilac, light purple shade. And I'm just going to go ahead and pack that on towards the outer part of the cut crease, or like the middle part of the lid. You just want to put that into the middle, just the middle center of the lid, and just pack that color on there. You don't want to bring it all the way into the inner corner, because we are going to be applying a different shade. So I'm just going to pack that purple onto the center part of my lid and just build that color up. Like I said, we're applying a lighter shade. So now I'm applying this white on the palette. It's a white shimmery eyeshadow, but once I put it on my lid, since we did have a darker pink under the cut crease, it did come off a little bit more like a light pink on the lid. But it's essentially just a white shimmery eyeshadow, but I think it came out nice, even though it came out a little bit more pinkish. And we're just going to go ahead and apply that in the inner corner of the lid. So just in the inner part of the lid, we're just going to go ahead and build that up, and then we're going to just blend that into the purple. So I do kind of blend it into the purple, just whatever's remaining, so it can look blended. So I'm just building up that color and then blending it into the purple, like I said, just so the colors can look blended together. So now I'm going to go in with this dark purple color, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that in the outer corner. So I'm going to go ahead and just start building up that dark purple. And I am using this very small, precise brush. You want to use this really small brush because we're not trying to bring this up into the crease and mess up what we already kind of blended. So you just want to use a small brush and build up that purple, and just bring it up towards the orange and just keep building up. It does have a little bit of fallout, but we'll clean it up later. So now I'm going back in with that smaller blending brush, and like I said, the purple, we didn't want to use such a big blending brush because we didn't want to bring it up too much, but now we're just blending all those colors together. So now it's time to clean everything up, and I'm using this e.l.f. Concealer, and I am using it in the shade Fair Warm. And as you can tell, I was super surprised because this was really, really bright, and I was not expecting it to be this bright. I actually normally use the shade Medium Peach, and today I decided to try something different. So it is a little bit too bright under my eyes, but we are just going to go with it, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out. And then at the same time, I am going to start cutting out my eyeshadow. So I'm going to start cleaning up under my eyeshadow and creating that cat eye effect. So I'm really cleaning up and doing this sharp line. And essentially you're just cleaning up the eyeshadow and creating this really sharp line so it can all look super clean and kind of lift your eye. And that's the look I was going for today. So in the inner corner, I didn't want to go in with my sponge because it is a little too big. So I go in with this brush to blend it in. So now I'm going to go ahead and set that. We'll bake my under eyes. So I am baking my under eyes with my Airspun Face Loose Powder. So we're just going to apply this with our Real Technique sponge and just set that and let it bake while we do our eyebrows. So now I'm going to go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Eyebrow Pomade, and my eyebrows take too long, so I will be back. Oh, hello brows. So now I'm going to go ahead and dust off our baking powder. So I'm going to go ahead and just dust that off with the smaller brush. I like to use a smaller brush when I dust off my baking when it's closer to the inner corner. And then I'm going to set the rest of the face with this bigger powder brush. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that same Airspun face powder to set the rest of the face. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this all over. Now I'm going to go ahead and go in with that pink color that we used in the beginning, and I'm going to go ahead and apply this in the lower lash line. I love to smoke out my lower lash line and really bring down the color. I like to do this because I feel like I have smaller eyes, and this really opens up my eyes and makes them look bigger. So now I'm going to go ahead and go in with that white shade that we used in the beginning, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that in the inner corner to brighten up the inner corner. Now I'm going to apply some mascara for my falsies, and the meantime, while my falsies dry, I am going to be using this Benefit Cheek Leaders palette, and I'm using the Hoola and the caramel bronzer, I believe. I'm using both of them to kind of contour and bronze my face, and I love to use the brush that it comes with. So once my eyelashes have dried and the glue has gotten a little bit tacky, I am going to go ahead and apply them. I love to apply my lashes with tweezers. I have tried using an eyelash applicator and I cannot use the applicator, and I've tried using my fingers, my nails, and it's just does not work. So tweezers, that's what works perfectly for me. So that is what I use to apply my false lashes, and I am using the Eylure, I don't know how you say it, silk lashes, and I love this style. It is the style Marquise, I believe. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and apply those. I literally have worn these, you guys, this same pair like 10 times. So now I'm going to go ahead and go in with the Cheek Leaders palette and apply the Coralista blush. And I'm also going to contour my nose, or sort of contour my nose, with just the Hoola bronzer. And I'm using this highlight in the palette in the shade Cookie. And oh my god, this highlighter, I'm showering myself in this highlighter. So now I'm using my Morphe liquid lipstick in the shade Virgin, and I love this shade. It is such a beautiful, like, nude, corally nude color. And I'm just going to apply some mascara on my lower lashes, and that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this summer spring makeup look, and thank you so much for watching.